This segment of DelmarvaLife is sponsored by the law offices of Tunnell Raysor.
You know, when our time comes, most of us hope to leave something meaningful behind, a legacy that lives on through the generations, maybe a life lesson that we taught, a value that we embodied, maybe just a tradition that continues for a long time.
Yeah, but to truly protect that legacy, it's just as important to plan for what happens to our assets, making sure our wishes are clear and legally binding. DelmarvaLife's James McDonald visited the law offices of Tunnell Raysor to learn what goes into planning your estate and why it's never too early to start the process.
When you hear the words estate planning attorney, you might think it's only for the wealthy. But according to Associate Melanie Burke at Tunnell Raysor, that couldn't be further from the truth.
Some people think that they have to have, $1 million in the bank in order to need to come see an estate planning attorney. And that's incorrect. If you have a house, if you have a car in the driveway, maybe you have a little bit of money in the bank, those will be your assets upon your death. And those assets will likely trigger the need for probate when you pass away.
Probate is the legal process that kicks in when someone dies. It can be complicated and costly if you're not prepared. An estate planning attorney can help you decide who should inherit your assets and how. Melanie says older adults aren't the only ones who should plan ahead.
Parents who have young children, these may be people in their 30s or 40s, they really should come to see an estate planning attorney so we can help them create basic documents that would name who would be in charge of their assets if they should both pass away, leaving their young children adrift. And they can also name who they would want to have appointed as the guardian of their young children if something should happen to them.
Estate planning is about putting your wishes in writing.
Unfortunately, the universe can be cruel, and we may think we're going to live to the ripe old age of 80 or 90, but the universe may have something else in store for us. So it's always a good idea to have something on paper.
So what does an estate plan actually include?
So an estate planning attorney can help you draft a simple will. If that's all that you really genuinely need and want, that's what we will help create for you. If you need a little more sophisticated estate planning, we might help you set up a trust. And then there are two other documents that we always like to talk to our clients about, and that is the financial power of attorney and a medical power of attorney, which is more formally known as an advanced health care directive. And sometimes you'll hear your doctors refer to this as a living will. And with these two documents, you are setting up people who can manage your financial assets if you lose capacity, or they can help manage your health care if you lose the ability to communicate with your physicians. And with that second document, you can also give direction if you're being kept alive by machines, so extraordinary measures are being used to prolong your life, and perhaps you would not want those extraordinary measures to be used. You can give direction within that document saying, I would want to be removed from the machines that are keeping me alive under certain circumstances.
Without these documents in place, your loved ones may have to go to court to get permission to help you.
If you haven't created this document in advance and created this plan, then your loved ones really have a much more significant job ahead of them in becoming your guardian. So now if they don't have this power of attorney document, now they have to go to Chancery Court and file suit to become your legal guardian, which is much more timely and takes some time and can also cost some additional money. And now your loved ones are having to jump through those hoops. Whereas with this document, you've laid the plan. And now all they have to do is start taking care of you. It becomes a much more seamless transition for them to be able to step in and take care of you.
With more than 130 years here in Sussex County, Tunnell Raysor has helped generations of families protect what matters most.
We've been part of this community for well over 130 years, which is such an unusual achievement for a law firm, particularly a law firm in the state of Delaware. The one thing that my clients ask me at the end of our working relationship is, will my children or will my spouse have someone that they can come back to if they have questions about this will or this trust or this power of attorney that I've created with you today? And I can say with absolute confidence, yes, Tunnell Raysor will be here. We have a very, very strong estate planning department here there will be someone here. Even if I'm no longer here, there will be someone here within the estate planning department at Tunnell Raysor who can sit down with your children and go over these documents and answer their questions.
To get the process started, all you need to do is simply pick up the phone.
So they just need to call and ask for an appointment, and then we're going to send them a questionnaire. And the questionnaire is just to give us some information so we know a little bit about the client, a little bit about their family, and then a little bit about their assets. What exactly do they own and how is it titled? And so that just gives us some basic background information. The attorney, we draft the documents and we send the drafts to the clients to review to make sure that they really do like the plan that we now have implemented for them.
Because at Tunnell Raysor, it's not about how much you have. It's about making sure your loved ones are protected for the future.
And Melanie also tells us that educating their clients is an important piece to the work the team at Tunnell Raysor does on a daily basis. She says her clients leave feeling confident in what they own and how their estate planning will make things easier for the family. And that's very important because you never know when your last day on earth is.
Yeah, easier for the family. And you don't want to leave if things aren't easier on the family.
Exactly.
Excellent point.